All right, baby. We are live, but we got to let it breathe just for a moment. What a gut reaction this one's going to be. Really relishing this particular gut reaction of all gut reactions. Welcome in, everybody. It's the Mile High Huddle podcast. It is, in fact, the gut reaction as your Denver Broncos have just won their 11th straight game. Upset the Green Bay Packers, sent a message to the doubters in the NFL at large. Zach, the Broncos are now 12-2. What? Sole possession, no tiebreakers needed of the 1 seed in the playoffs. Your gut reaction, brother.
Yeah, the Broncos officially clinched a playoff berth for the second year in a row. Congrats to them. It was maybe, I feel like I say this after every big win, but maybe the biggest victory of the Sean Payton, Bo Nix era. We had the halftime stream chat, and we both had our trepidations and apprehension about how the game could turn out. We didn't think the offense would really come to life like that, though. The defense also battened up when it mattered most. Obviously, the Micah Parsons injury hurt the Packers, but the Broncos proved. Remember that whole trope about they can't beat good teams? Well, they just did the Nick Benito crotch grab right to their faces.
Here's why I think you'll start to see more people come out of the woodworks in support of the Broncos, and not support, but just recognizing their achievement and the quality team that they are. Yeah, you beat the Packers. Okay. But to really get that love and respect, Zach, it's a quarterback-driven league, and you got to have the quarterback doing highlight-worthy stuff. And today, Bo Nix absolutely delivered on that front, eclipsing 300 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, finished with a quarterback rating of 134.7, which has got to be his season high. So Bo Nix did a lot of the signaling in this one to the NFL. Hey, guys, yeah, we got the defense. We've got this knack for critical moments, all that stuff. And you've got a quarterback that can be prolific in critical, huge, high scrutiny, high stake games.
It was big boy throw after big boy throw from Bo today. Again, I've said it after every big game by him, but it was probably his best performance as an NFL quarterback. Just total command, in charge of the offense. And that's something we've noticed since the bye week, Chad. I don't know what Sean Payton adjusted in terms of the rhythm, the tempo, the pacing. The play calling was good, except for the decision to go for it at the end. But it's certainly helped out Bo Nix. Now imagine if they still had J.K. Dobbins, how good this offense can really, really be.
No doubt about it. Let's see what's on the mind of the members and the superstars. A lot of comments piling up. William jumping in. Good to see one of our dear members. Says, question, are we still frauds? Is Bo still a system quarterback check down guy only? I want answers from the press this week. Hashtag pockmarked assassin. Bo's mom knows. It's true, Zach. Bo Nix's mother absolutely picked the Broncos to win this game for what it's worth. Thank you, William. Ted Wunderlich in the house. What's going on, big dog? He says, yeah, they're for real. MHH for life. Now, this is some hashtag game strong right here. Hashtag Josh Jacobs has never beaten Bo Nix. Hashtag Sean's late game decisions scare me. Hashtag Bo's mom was right. 1 seed playoffs, 11 in a row. Good stuff, man. Your hashtag game is strong, my brother. Thank you. Rip Die, what a game. Lil Jordan showed me something. Yeah, dude, I like LJ. I mean, you gotta kind of recognize him for what he is, Zach, but he's awesome. Holy freaking smokes.
Wow.
'Tis the season. My goodness. Whoa. Chris is putting some Christmas presents under Chad, Zach, and Scott's tree this year. Man, thank you, brother. You got me kind of slobber knockered over here, fumbling and mumbling over my words, dude. Thank you so much, bro. This is so generous, man. As you guys can see, he's got a formula that he sticks to so generously and amazing throughout the season. It's the number of wins, Zach, times the number of points scored, which tonight, that was win number 12, 34 points. It's a massive super chat. Chris, love you, bro. Thank you so much. We don't take it lightly. We don't take it for granted. In fact, every time I see it, whether it's, the Broncos put up 10 points and it was their third game or whatever, I am always surprised. I am always blown away. Love you, buddy. He says that's how those at home 10, now 11 game win streak underdogs do it. Yes, that's how they do it, brother. Let them hate. click those little thumbs up, dude. Thank you, Chris. And listen to the man, guys. Smash the like button right now. Take half a second. Smash that like button. Chris, you're a legend, bro. Love you.
Yeah, Chris, I don't know what else to say that Chad didn't just say. Thank you so much. God bless you for your generosity. And I don't know what this podcast would be without you for your support over the course of years, by the way, not just recently. So thank you once again. You have humbled us like you always tend to do.
All right. I didn't mean to hit that right away, but dude, Chris, thank you, bro. And Chris has been an OG. He's been with us a long, long time. In fact, I don't have any memories doing the live stream, Zach, where he wasn't part of things. So, Chris, thank you, brother. It means the world to us, big dog. And here, my goodness.
Thank you.
Got the Duchess jumping in also off the top rope, making it rain. Love you, Michaela. Thank you so much. And I'm so stoked for you. I know this was one of those games where, Zach, some people were a little split on it. I had a kind of quiet confidence about this one for whatever reason. And as I said last night, co-hosting as a guest co-host with Ron, the deciding factor for me in picking the Broncos in this game, because again, I didn't blame you, Zach, for not picking them. I was defending you, in fact, on the show last night, because some people are, Zach picked the Packers. Not that he wants the Packers to win. That whole thing. I had to explain it. But the one thing that gave me the confidence that in the warm and fuzzies about this game was, in fact, that they were set up as the underdogs at home, even though they had won 10 in a row, even though they hadn't lost at home since week 6 of last season. So I love it. Michaela, I love you. She says, best Bo game. He was awesome. I hope Harvey is not hurt too bad. Yeah, in case you guys missed it at the end, Harvey wasn't in those last few sets because he's got a rib injury. So yeah, we'll have to monitor that as the week progresses. But Michaela, love you. And yes, this is why the Broncos, you're going to see it start to change this week in terms of the narrative. They didn't just beat a good team. They beat a good team with their quarterback leading the way with a huge game, out-dueling one of the, ordained, rubber-stamped princeling quarterbacks of the NFL. Bo did it.
If we did a roundtable and everyone always picked the Broncos to win, I feel like it would get a little boring and a little counterproductive. So if you see the last blurb, I actually say it to be a jinx. I picked the Packers to win. But Michaela, regardless, thank you so much for your generosity. You, Chris, all the foundational members of the podcast, genuinely from the bottom of our hearts, appreciate it. You are amazing. Thank you so much.
Love you, Michaela. So happy for you as well. Omar checking in.
Thank you.
Omar coming. This from Omar right here, gifted. Breckenridge, honey flavored. I don't imbibe much, but this is a nice little piece here for the collection. And I still have this up here from you, Omar. Right here, big dog. Chad, enjoy. Omar. See? Legend, dude. I love you, big dog. He says, amazing. So thrilled. Very important national win. Excellent team win. Go Broncos. MHH. Omar, dude. Thank you, big dog. Great to see you. Hope you're doing well. Broncos are just getting started, guys. It's going to get even better from here.
Yeah, thank you so much, Omar. Seeing all this red, seeing all this generosity. Again, I hate to keep using the word, but it humbles me. It's amazing. I know I can speak for Chad when I say that. Thank you, Omar, so much.
No doubt about it, big dog. Yeah, so the Broncos, let me see what Mr. Producer's saying. Yeah, well said, Scott. And by the way, I did read your entire prediction last night, Zach, on the podcast. So you were quoted, including your jinx comment at the end, which was apropos. Omar, love you, big dog. We got the boot boy, Chaos Josh, in the house on Super Chat, a dear member. He says, I said it at the half. The defense showed up, and we got the dub at the house. We are battle-tested. Let's Bo. Let them hate Buckham Bronco gang. That you did, brother. That you did. David Youngkin, have we proven that we are elite? I think so. And those last doubters. Now, there might still, Zach, as I talked about throughout the week, but there might still be those Nick Wrights of the world that are going to struggle to just give credit where it's due, and they'll continue to kind of dig their own grave. But I'm telling you that the nature of that win, right? At every game in this 11-game winning streak, it's crazy that I just said 11-game winning streak. Every one of these has its own kind of complexion, and the complexion of this particular game, in other words, the way it shook out, people are going to have a hard time not just saying, guys, the team to beat in the league right now is the Denver Broncos. David Wilder going off, gifting 10 MHH YouTube memberships in the chat. Bro, thank you. You're awesome. Friendly Giant checking in, Zach. What a win. Bo has leveled up. Hate to see the Micah Parsons injury, but Sean, the 4th and 1 triple fullback play needs to be torn out and launched into the sun. And the crazy thing about it, Zach, is because of that belly fullback that went for like 21 yards against the Raiders, he's going to still think for a while that, it's some kind of trick up his sleeve, but you got to use that very, very sparingly. I love the first big 4th down, that dart to Courtland Sutton that set up that touchdown, second half clutch type of stuff. But those last 2 plays and the last 2 decisions, the first one I didn't really fault him on. The second one, I'm like, just punt the ball there, dude.
There's aggressive and there's stupid, and Sean Payton was aggressive for the first couple ones, and he was stupid for the last one. So fortunately, the Broncos still got the victory. But thank you for the super friendly Giant.
No doubt about it. It's great to see you. And Friendly, you've been with us a long time, brother. I want to invite you, become a member. We absolutely need you. We need you in the house. Mr. Producer, no, yeah, let's take care of that real quick. Guys, lots more that we are going to be getting to tonight, including all your supers, your questions, your comments. We are just getting started tonight. But guys, listen, taking care of your mental health, it should not be harder than taking care of your physical health. And if you think about it, when you pull a muscle or suddenly you wake up, your back starts aching, you're going to go see a doctor. But when it comes to finding the right therapist, suddenly it's frustrating. You're dealing with long waiting lists, or you have to confront huge out-of-pocket costs. And any one of these factors can stop people from getting the help they need.
And that's where Rula comes in. Rula makes it simple, affordable, and fast. They work with most major insurance plans, and the average session copay is just $15, $15. That's basically the cost of lunch, but instead of a sandwich, you're investing in your own headspace.
That's right. And with Rula, you're not just matched with the therapist and left to kind of figure things out. They check in. They make sure you're actually making progress. Every therapist on the platform actually is licensed, vetted, and picked for their expertise. So you're talking to someone legit, not just whoever happens to be available.
And getting started cannot be easier. You answer a few quick questions about what matters to you, and Rula connects you with in-network providers who actually fit your needs. You pick the time, and you could be talking to a therapist as soon as the next day. No weeks of waiting, no endless back and forth. Bottom line, if you've been putting this off, Rula takes away the excuses, simple, affordable, and actually built to help you get better.
Thousands of guys have already used Rula to finally get the care they needed. Don't keep putting it off, gang. Go to Rula.com/milehigh. Get started today. That's RULA.com/milehigh. Take the first step, get connected, and take control of your mental health. All right, Mr. Producer, back to the chat we go. Down under from the Zebo. Why not? There he is. Zebo, Jack Zebo. Dude. By the way, I keep saying this. I can't find you anymore on Twitter every time I go to tag you after a show. So DM me. Do me a favor, Zebo, and DM me so I know your handle. But this was, he says, dude, and thank you, brother, from Oz checking in. This was not an upset. This was controlled demolition of the Green Bay Packers. Cannot fault this team anymore. I feel that Sean Payton was hiding all the good plays for the home stretch. Have to love how the Broncos keep proving doubters wrong. MHH for life. Knicks for 6. Well said, big dog. And yeah, Zach, the offense has just looked different coming out of the bye.
Yeah, and if you think he's been hiding plays for later in the season, now imagine what he's hiding for the postseason, Zebo. But thank you regardless for the super and the generosity.
Yeah, brother. Stoked for you. We have such a great community of Broncos country from Australia, proving it's not a geographic location, Broncos country. It's, in fact, a state of being. Taylor Christensen, a dear member and a bona fide superstar, saying the playoffs have been clinched. This is our year. Go Denver Broncos. It keeps lining up, Zach. I mean, 10 years after Super Bowl 50, the Super Bowl's back at Santa Clara. Levi Stadium, it's looking like the 1 seed is going to be Denver's. And I don't so much crave the 1 seed for the sake of the bye, but the fact that home field advantage, home field. You saw today, Zach, was a great example of how much home field makes a difference in the NFL, especially for the Broncos. We got Lady D checking in.
Thank you, Deanna.
Also, longtime superstar, dear member, a dear friend. We love you so much, Deanna. She says, loved the overachiever comment from Bo Nix. Super happy on the win. Zach, I'm not sure what she's talking about there. Do you know what she's what?
Yeah,
What?
Bo gave a little CBS interview after. I think this is the same comment, and thank you, Deanna, for the super first and foremost. But he was interviewed by, I think, Tracy Wolfson after the game, and he was asked about being underdogs, and he goes, "We're the overdogs now." And I think that's what Deanna was talking about there. So, little funny. I like the wittiness from Bo, and I like the confidence from the team. Like, hey, if you don't believe in us, we believe in us, and my mom knows we're going to win. That's what matters the most.
Yeah, dude, I love that. I absolutely love that. Yeah, I missed that because I was getting set up for the stream, but awesome way to bring that up, Lady D. And yeah, got to be stoked about your Denver Broncos, man. Like vanquishing all comers, like anyone trying to get their beak wet, not against the Broncos. Love you, Lady D. Sentinel Supreme checking in, a dear member, longtime superstar, saying the cheese graters out, boys. Queso cheese time, baby. That's right. Hopefully you're a big cheese fan. You know, you like to consume the cheese. I do. I love cheese. I'm a cheese guy. Let's go. Broncos. I think they had their fill tonight, Zach.
I actually ordered food and it got here right before the pod started. So you're making me hungrier than I was, Sentinel. But thank you for the super, and the point is well made there.
No doubt about it. Great to see you, bro. Great to see you. Alfonso in the house. Forgive me, bud. Great to see you. Welcome. Appreciate you. The Broncos are the best team in the NFL. When you have the quarterback number, we always kind of knew that, right? But when you have the quarterback numbers backing up and reflecting commensurate with what the standings are, then people suddenly take notice and they start bowing down. And I'm telling you, because of that, you're going to see it this week. Tunes are going to change over the next week.
Some, because I saw that Micah Parsons was diagnosed with a torn ACL, which is definitely unfortunate. I feel so bad for him and the Packers and their fans and everything. But people are going to say, "Oh, well, the Broncos only won because of injuries, and the Broncos only won because of this," and that they're still going to get those haters. They're still going to get those doubts. But the more and more, like Chad was talking about, that they keep beating these elite teams, the excuses come off the board. And at some point, even the harshest critic, even Nick Wright, will have to look himself in the mirror and admit Broncos are a good team.
Exactly. Casey, good to see you, bro. One of our awesome members, bona fide superstars, got to kick it a couple months back at the meet and greet. He says, don't ever tell me that Bo Nix is not a franchise quarterback. He is our franchise quarterback. We have our quarterback. We have an amazing team. Go Broncos, Super Bowl this year. The Broncos, Zach, have now entered a window where the Super Bowl is possible now each and every year that you've got Sean Payton, Bo Nix. The supporting cast is going to continue to improve offensively and a championship caliber defense. Like Super Bowl is on the table now for this team year in and year out. Like that 8 years, Zach, of wandering the desert, the NFL desert, that's mercifully at long last well in the rear view.
Some of us, Casey, have known for a while now that Bo Nix is the franchise guy, but I am absolutely convinced of it. I believe it in the bottom of my heart. The Broncos will win at least one Super Bowl with Bo under center.
No doubt. Casey, brother, good to see you. Colin Dunham in the hizzy, a dear member and a superstar, saying, despite some hiccups, this was the most dominant and convincing win of the season. Bo balls to make that throw on 4th and 3. Let's go. Oh, and FTC, that Oregon connection went off today. That's true. Yeah. Was really proud of Troy, Zach, today. No wrinkles in the production, right? Like he caught everything. Tony Romo was complimenting his strong hands and the reliability. So really happy to see that from Troy.
Should have had a touchdown if he wasn't called down by the referees acting crazy as they do every single week. But yeah, no drops, and he looked like he could be the wide receiver too. And they did this today, more impressively, without Pat Bryant. So more credit to the Broncos offense.
We got Fox Family Breaks in the hizzy saying, pumped. Great week. Where are the Knicks haters now? Yeah, I mean, whoever's still holding on to those pre-2024 draft Bo Nix takes. They got to give up that ghost, Zach. Like, you were wrong. Just admit it. You'll get more credit and not credit, but trust from the people who follow you, the people who listen to you, people who may watch you, even at work, people you see at the water cooler. If you had a bad Bo Nix take, it's time to give up the ghost on that, because you're cutting off your nose to spite your face as long as you keep holding on to that. Brad Murdoch, good to see you, brother. Way to go, Broncos. Bo was on fire today. Hope RJ's okay. No doubt. And by the way, Zach, RJ tied Phillip Lindsay today, who was also recognized during the game at the stadium for the third most touchdowns by a Broncos rookie ever. Only Clinton Portis, 17, and Mike Anderson, 15, had more touchdowns as rookies, and there's 3 games left. But RJ does have a rib injury. For the day, he finished with 19 carries, a career high, 65 yards, Zach, rushing, a 3.4 average. He did get that touchdown, and then he also he was targeted once in the passing game.
Notice how many hard inside runs he had. Notice how many broken tackles he made. And even when he got beaten down to the ground by a really tough Packers defense, he got up for the next play like nothing. So the concerns he was too small or can't succeed in the NFL, he definitely can. But if he's hurt or even less than 100%, the Broncos are going to have to do something at the position, Chad. You can't go into a big game against the Jaguars with McLaughlin or Bidet as your starter potentially.
For what it's worth, the Broncos rushed for 89 yards as a team today, where the Packers had 115. And honestly, Zach, at halftime, even though you and I were both feeling pretty confident about the way this game was shaping up in terms of the second half, I didn't foresee the Broncos finishing with more total yards than the Packers, because the Packers were just moving the ball. But they did, 391 to Green Bay's 362. The Broncos only went 4 of 11 on third down. That's not great. Whereas the Packers went 6 of 13. Broncos ended up 50% on fourth down and a perfect 4 for 4, Zach, in the red zone. And then you grab Ren.
Yeah, Ren, $20 super. Thank you so much. Talk about a massive win against the Packers. First in the AFC by a whole game. That's right, because the Patriots lost today. Knicks had arguably the best game of his career. This was a much-needed win, I think. Why don't we play like this every week? Go Broncos. Denver Broncos for life. MHH for life. Thank you, Ren. And yeah, we wish the Broncos offense at least could play like this every week. But I saw in the third and fourth quarters that they're a more complete team when they finally shake off that slog and the opening drives and get over some of the penalties and some of the referee non-calls and calls. They come together when it matters most in the fourth, and you see they're an elite offense, and obviously they have an elite defense as well.
By the way, Broncos penalized only 6 times today. The Packers, 10 times. Naj in the hizzy. What's good, big dog? He says, hey, brothers, another fantastic win. Knicks played his best game. Defense settled in the second half, and Lil Jordan making a difference. He is, man. I love to see him contributing in the pass game, because he puts in so much work and sacrifices a lot in the run game. He said himself earlier this week, or I should say last week, that he's the best blocking wide receiver in the NFL. And you saw, Zach, today, the Broncos rewarded him for his efforts.
Lil Jordan, Humphrey, and Michael Bandy scoring in a big game against the Packers. Who had that on their bingo card? Definitely not me. And Naj, thank you for the super. I haven't been the biggest LJH fan in his tenure with the Broncos, but he made some big catches today, and he could be a weapon for Bo Nix. So my hat's off to him.
He finished, by the way, 3 catches, 42 yards, and a touchdown. Lil Jordan Humphrey. Woot. Let's go. Stoked. Naj, brother, always a pleasure to see you, my friend. I bet the energy at Casa Altaf right now is on fire. The man cave is probably literally in flames. Shannon jumping in. Good to see you, Shannon.
Thank you.
Appreciate just how awesome and consistent you've been in your support of MHH and being a member, bro. Thank you. What a game. Bo proved he does not crack under pressure. Broncos deserve respect after this one. Hope that rib injury that RJ has is not too serious. Yeah, we'll see, man. We don't really know much about it yet. And honestly, we're probably not going to learn that much about it, because we know how verbose Sean Payton is on the subject of injuries. Like, we'll hear from him tomorrow in the morning conference call, Zach. But anyone who has the temerity to even ask him about RJ's injury is going to be thusly like whack-a-mole, pounded down and made to feel a fool. Why would I tell you that? Why? I don't talk about injuries. Next question.
Yeah, we'll have to see as the week goes on, Shannon, on Harvey's availability. It could be a case where they call up Deuce Vaughn from the practice squad for a huge AFC showdown against the Jaguars next Sunday. Thank you so much for your generosity, though.
That's right, Donnie. Checking in on Facebook. Contenders, not pretenders. Yeah, yep, no doubt about it. And today is just a great day. Clay saying on Facebook, no one can say this team isn't for real anymore. Denver absolutely is the team to beat in the league. It's also time for the Moss haters to STFU. I think we all know what that acronym means. Broncos for life. Yeah, dude. That call on Riley, as Scott and I were talking about right before we went live, that was totally a reputation foul. That was not pass interference. It set up a score that I think it was the Brandon or the Josh Jacobs Zach touchdown run that long. If maybe not. Either way, it was a touchdown that ended up setting up on the ensuing snap. But great to see Riley battling. He had one really nice PBU to end a drive. And then also Zach got his first interception of the season. Yeah, thank you, Scott. The long TD run was the very next play. Boogmeister in the hizzy, a dear member, a long-time superstar, saying, "Oh, big dogs, love this win. Just bought tickets to the Chargers game for the fam for Christmas." Dude, that's awesome. Can't wait to get them out there. MHH for life. Dude, that's going to be one hell of a family memory. And the Chargers, man, they're still in it. They're stubbornly, Zach, refusing to bow out of the AFC West sweepstakes. But with only 3 games left and them being 2 games back, Chargers, man, it's going to be tough for them to win this. Is it the division they clinch next week, Zach? If the Broncos beat the Jags, do they clinch the division?
I don't know if they would need more help beyond that. I was going to say, Boogie, I hope that game has some meaning. Has some meaning for you by week 18. I hope the Broncos don't wrap everything up and that game is just an exhibition affair. But thank you so much for sharing that, and thank you so much for the super big win today.
And either way, Boog, like as a Broncos fan, if you're fortunate enough to get out to any of these games this season and have that memory, we'll see how it all shakes out. But to be able to say you were there for any of what happens this year, it's going to be a lifelong memory and some serious bragging rights. So good for you. Robert Ottison, dear member, superstar, longtime superstar, Nevada, saying, boom, 12-2. That should shut the haters up. Love from Nevada. Most definitely, Robert. Good to see you, big dog. And thank you very much for your continued support. Ren, speaking of support, jumping in again. The best part about this win for the Broncos is I made $120 betting that the Broncos would win and that Parsons wouldn't sack Bo Nix. It's a great day to be a Broncos fan. It truly is, big dog. Thank you so much, Ren.
I'm so happy for you, Ren, for all of Broncos country. Chad talked about Michaela earlier, how happy he was, and I am as well, because you guys have been through it the last 10 years and have shared that with us, all the misery, and we're reaping the rewards, the fruits of our labors, and it's so wonderful to share it with you all and for you all to share it with us. Thank you.
Swish Sumo jumping in. Good to have you, my friend. Thank you. Holy cow. Last game was my first Bronco game in Washington, and this was my first game in Denver. Rad. My sister is a Packers fan, and our dad came through for Christmas. Truly electric energy here. Absolutely nothing like it. Go Broncos. I know, dude. Isn't it magical? There's a reason they call it, Zach, Mile High Magic. And just the energy, like, look, we're a long ways now past this, but even the meet and greet, the historic nature of that comeback against the Giants, that fourth quarter. I mean, as I was leaving the stadium and climbing back up the hill to where we do the meet and greets to reconvene and get everybody and go meet up with Naj, and I look back at the stadium and you can see the throngs of Broncos country coming down the whatever you call that, not the causeway, but the whatever. And it was like the energy was such that I wouldn't have been shocked if all of a sudden it just levitated and just up into the sky it disappeared. Like, I can only imagine that's how it is tonight. George Fox, this was one of the best games we've played all season. Broncos for life, MHH for life. Hit the thumbs up, guys. Thank you, George. Yeah, guys, not to be that annoying beggar person, but please smash the like button. Helps us out tremendously.
Yeah, Chad, the energy in the building for the Giants game, you could have cut that with a knife. It was that tangible. And you made a good point earlier. You want the 1 seed because of the home field advantage the Broncos have that is unique to them. They impact games. You made a good point, and that's why all Broncos fans should be rooting for the Broncos to clinch that top spot.
George says again on Facebook, though, just think how many, even though after week 2 that we would then do 12 in a row. What a team. That's true, man. When the Broncos, Zach, were sitting at 1-2, we're going, man, the odds aren't great for 1-2. You know, a lot of season left, but history says 1-2 teams, blah, 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 blah. There is nobody under the sun, even the most hardcore orange-colored glasses folks, Zach, that foresaw 11 straight wins following that loss to the Chargers, right? Like, what planet are we on right now? It's crazy, but it feels good, baby. Not going to question it.
And also consider the fact the one of their losses they have was on that leverage penalty. How many games this year and how many wins the Broncos have had with the NFL officiating crews impacting in the games, the calls, the non-calls. You saw it today. Imagine if they didn't have some axe to grind with the Broncos, what their record could be and how good they could be. And the fact that they're overcoming that every single week speaks to the mettle of Sean Payton and his team.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. It feels good. It's a new morning, a new time. It's a new era for the Broncos. The Bo Nix era, baby. David T, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're feeling all right. He says, hi, guys. Game over. Nurses want my phone. So just want to say go Broncos. Jags next. Broncos for life. That's a dedicated Broncos fan right there. And on top of that, Zach, a dedicated member of our community throwing down support in the hospital. Nurses like, no, David, give me that dadgum phone. You've had enough excitement for today. Love you, big dog. Thank you.
Yeah, and David, continue getting better, my man. Let us know how you're doing. Well, you're continuing to be in our thoughts and our prayers, and we appreciate you sharing that with us. Thank you.
Most definitely. Australia representing yet again. Here's Chris Parr. Let's go. He says, let's go Broncos. Bo had an amazing game. Hopefully that game can earn them some respect. Hey, man, whether it does or it doesn't, I think you will, as I said, you'll start seeing some of the narratives shift nationally. Mm-hmm. But whether it does or doesn't, the Broncos could not care less. And in fact, guys, you know, the more you think about it, you kind of want them to not turn the narrative. You kind of want them, Zach, to continue kind of hating on the Broncos and sleeping on them and looking past them, because Sean Payton is finding a way to make that work for his team. Right. Like it's serving the Broncos up to this point. So I'm literally, when I say this, I mean it like in every sense of the phrase, let them hate.
That's a really good point. It seems like Sean has the us against the world mentality in the locker room, and that's working for them right now. And I felt like every time in the past the Broncos were heavy favorites, they never delivered, Chad. They always fell short of expectations. So I'm right there with you. Let them keep hating, because the Broncos will keep defying all the haters.
BLD, a dear member, a superstar, jumping in saying, now we need a good showing against Jacksonville and San Diego before the playoffs. Yeah, because, Zach, you're now going to face on Christmas, instead of that marquee Knicks versus Mahomes, regardless of the playoffs and whatever stakes, now it's going to be Bo Nix versus Gardner Minshew at Arrowhead.
Yeah, it's not quite the matchup we envisioned a few months ago, is it? Broncos should be favored. The Broncos should win that game. It could come down to the LA game in the finale for playoff seeding or whatever, but we're all hoping around here the Broncos have that well taken care of.
And by the way, Patriots, as we mentioned earlier, most everybody knows this, they lost today to the Bills. So that's good news. There's now only one 12-2 team, 2-loss team in the entire NFL. It's your Denver Broncos. And then the Patriots now, Zach, have to, I believe this one's on the road, go take on Baltimore, which just won't be easy, regardless of what is exactly at stake. In fact, let me double check something here on Baltimore today. Yeah, they won. So that's good. You wanted the Ravens to win. You wanted them to have something to play for next week with regard to the Patriots, and they will. Missed for Jay, brother. Great to see you. Heck of a game, he says. Huge for the Broncos and all us fans. Great win. MHH for life. Let's go, chat. Like up the live. That's right. Smash the like button, guys. We need you. We need the likes. And, you know, this month in particular, MHH YouTube is basically doubled our normal December. Well, I guess it's not just December, but the last 4 weeks doubled the views that we normally do. And MHH has a lot of years now on YouTube. You guys are smashing the videos and the live streams and the reels and whatever. What do you call it? Shorts on YouTube. Likes help us do that. Keep doing it. Explode 12. Oh. Zach, I know because it's showing the handle. I know who this is. I'm going to come back to you with your actual name. Give me a second, brother. Thank you. Good to see you, dear member. I didn't read it, though. I didn't read it, Scott. Awesome that Riley Moss got a well-deserved pick with the hater refs being nasty towards him as usual. Yeah, no doubt about it. I felt so good for my boy. He was getting some hate on Twitter too, Zach.
Remember what Pat Surtain said a few months ago as to why the NFL referees are targeting Riley Moss so much? It makes me think that he wasn't just joking with what he said there. The foul that he had called against him earlier in the game, that was not PI. Quarterbacks and receivers can hand fight. It happens every single passing play, and he just has this bullseye on the back of him that it seems like when Riley Moss is on the field, you're going to flag him, regardless of whether he's right or wrong. And that has to change. I would want the Broncos to maybe make a stink of it. If they go public with it or even internally, Chad, maybe that would quell these bullseyes on Riley Moss because he's getting penalized for things he's not doing wrong.
Adventure Soldier. Love you, bud. Triple C in the hizzy. Longtime Facebooker, then on YouTube, now a superstar, bona fide member. Appreciate you, Colby. I thought the awful pass interference call and then the missed offensive pass interference was a bad omen, but we overcame. Awesome crowd helped. Yeah. And I like that Sean Payton and Bo Nix, took the same cue from his head coach, really amping up the fans in the run up to this game. Like we need the fans in the stadium in this one, man. And they absolutely delivered. Like they made it all the much more difficult, Zach, on Love to operate, especially in that bottom of the third quarter through the fourth, man. It was tough for them to think and get a play call in and all that stuff. So good job, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Colby. And that's what I was saying earlier. Imagine how good the Broncos can be if they weren't facing two teams every week, their opponent and the Zebras.
David Wilder jumping in again after throwing down some memberships. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, David.
David's been with us a long time. He's got a vintage MHH t-shirt still in his profile pic because he's just one of the superstars. OG. This was a total team win, he says. Offense showed up. Defense finally showed up. And special teams showed up. Knicks for 6, MHH for life, Broncos for life. Total complimentary performance, I would agree, Zach. And that's what you would expect from a team when you look at the standings and go, oh, they're 12-2. That's what you expect.
And I'll give him credit because we were on his case, and rightfully so, for before the bye. But Darren Rizzi, the special teams has kind of improved, and they've fixed some of their mistakes I've noticed since the bye. So good on him, and you got to give credit where it's due there. No
doubt about it. Mazabi, we got Maisie B, another awesome Australian member of this community. It's Maisie. How do I say your name? I always get it wrong. Mazzy, Masi. Either way, love you. Thank you. Lost count of how many dead to rights plays Bo somehow made a play. Best game of Bo this season. Second half defense, so much better than the first. Yeah, no doubt about it. This was a signature win for Bo Nix. Like John Elway, Zach, for example, really reluctant to call any regular season victory a signature win. But on an individual player level, I think it's pretty safe to call this a signature win for Bo Nix. You're going to see a lot of people start kind of changing their tune on Bo. It won't be everybody. And like I said, I kind of hope it doesn't happen. I think it serves the Broncos. But nevertheless, big credit to Bo Nix. And that's been one of the biggest things, I'll be honest, Zach, that has been a pleasant surprise. Not to say that I doubted this in Bo Nix when they drafted him, but just something that you learn about a player as time marches on and you are pleasantly surprised. And that is, Zach, the big moments, the big games, man. He rises to the occasion. Like he recognized, and not everyone can do that, let alone every quarterback. And the ones that can, they are, Zach, of the franchise caliber.
Excellent point. Yeah, he has the clutch gene. He has the it factor, and those things cannot be bought. Those things cannot be taught. You're born with it, or you're not. And Bo was born with it. And you know what's great about saying he had a signature win? It's not the first time this season that we've said that on this podcast, Chad. He's stacking them up now, and he's really forming his own legacy and his career.
I would call that Philly game. It was not as obviously prolific in terms of stats and points and all that, but I would call that a signature win, beating the defending Super Bowl champs in their house, fourth quarter comeback, all that. But this is another one. BNS jumping in, OG superstar saying, unbelievable. That O-line kept Bo clean. Hashtag all pro Bo. Love it, dude. And for what it's worth, Zach, today, the Green Bay Packers sacked Bo Nix 0 times.
I read an interesting stat. He came into the game only 3.0% of his dropbacks when they rushed 4 or fewer defenders. He had the lowest sack percentage in that scenario of all qualified quarterbacks in the NFL. And you're seeing how good he is in the pocket. And if the Packers with their defense couldn't get him down, it stands to reason that he's going to have much success in the postseason.
As Peyton likes to say, he's a tough sack and he doesn't turn the ball over. That in and of itself was a great starting point to build a franchise quarterback, and Sean Payton has capitalized. Lawrence, good to see you, brother. A dear member, longtime supporter and superstar, saying, start giving free blood pressure clinics. Yeah, I feel you. He also says, can anyone stop us if that was the best offense? You know, the Packers, Zach. I mean, if that was the best offense you're going to see, can anyone stop us? I will tell you the one team in the conference that still makes me uncomfortable is Buffalo, because Josh Allen, man, sometimes he's just unstoppable and he can beat you in so many different ways. And maybe part of my fear, or not fear of, but more say concern about facing the Bills at any point in the playoffs, Zach, is the trauma of last season's wild card beatdown. A lot of water's passed under the bridge since then, you know, 2 different teams, etc. But Bills really are the only team that kind of would give me a lot of worries in the AFC. Who else? The Patriots? Like, I'm telling you, the Patriots, they're a very good team. I don't know what it is, Zach. They don't scare me.
Anyone can beat anyone on any given Sunday. The thing is, the Broncos, they tend to beat themselves the most. And when they don't beat themselves, they are pretty unstoppable. Even though they've won the opposing offenses the last couple games, they've put something on film that's got the Broncos goat a little bit. It's the quick passing game. It's how to beat the Broncos blitz and how to succeed against the Broncos defense. And Jordan Love put on a clinic for that type of performance today. I'm stumbling a little bit, but I hope that Vance adjusts going forward, because if they can just make the quarterback hold the ball that 1 extra second you saw in the second half, the pressure will get there.
By the way, just flashed on the screen, Javonte Williams, Cowboys taking on the Vikings Sunday Night Football. Officially been over 1,000 yards now for a week or so, but just really cool. His first 1,000-yard rushing season. Happy for Javonte. It's kind of bittersweet that he doesn't get to be part of what's going on with the team that drafted him, but charge it to the game. Derek, good to see you, buddy. Thank you for being a dear member and a superstar. And yeah, how sweet is this? PS2 and Riley Moss get their first interceptions of the season off of who? Not Geno Smith, not Marcus Mariota, but Jordan Love, one of the ordained princelings of the quarterback royalty in the NFL. You got to love it.
Yeah, that was a great play that PS2 made as well, and it kind of shifted things and momentum for the Broncos offense. So that's what you get when you have the no-fly zone 2.0 back there. Thank you, Derek.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And guys, before we get out of here tonight, so stay with us till the end, we're going to be dropping a fun announcement. I think everyone's going to be really excited about it, so stick with us. Hey, Jay Martin, good to see you, buddy. Hope you've been well. He says, hi, guys. I've been watching a long time. Love the show. May is not clutch like Bo Nix, but there will be no talk about Nix being MVP. It's a crazy bias league. Here's what I'll say. I agree that Nix, Zach, that he is more deserving, even without this game, he's more deserving of praise nationally than he's gotten. But the kind of production you saw from Bo tonight, the prolific yardage, the big plays, the highlight reel stuff, the touchdown numbers, all that. Drake May's been doing that all year long. Like almost every game has been that. And so that's what it takes. I mean, we can all remember what it was like back in the Peyton Manning days with the Star Wars numbers. And when a quarterback produces at that level, it's usually corresponds to the standings. And when that happens, man, that's the player and the teams that the NFL at large, Zach, wants to praise. So Bo's just got to keep doing that. And, you know, Sean Payton knows this. This is no secret to Sean Payton. But it's not about necessarily, Zach, trying to always make sure Bo Nix has the best stats. It's about winning the ball games, and Sean Payton keeps dialing up these game plans that finds a way, makes a way to get that done. So let him hate, Jay Martin. Let him hate, buddy.
I don't know how the Patriots blew that game today. I think they were up by like 21 or something going into the fourth quarter. And you're right. Quarterbacks either have it or they don't. And I love how at one point before today, the Patriots and the Broncos were both on big winning streaks, and critics killed the Broncos for not beating anyone or barely winning or this and that. But they ignored the fact that the Patriots also didn't really play anyone of note either. We talked about that on last week's podcast. Some players have that media bias in their favor and some have it against them. You're seeing that play out in real time, Jay Martin, with Drake May and Bo Nix. But let him hate.
We've got a bona fide Prince fan in the house here. R.I.P. Prince. Joe DePaul on Facebook saying Bo Nix doing Bo Nix things. But also a great team win. Shout out to the receivers, especially Courtland Sutton. Yeah, he had a huge game. Yes, and Blex. Yes, the announcement cometh soon. He says, I'm excited for the announcement. He's in the know. So Blex, he's kind of been helping us out a little bit with what we're going to be announcing. So Dutch is jumping in again. Love you, Michaela.
Thank you.
I mean, year in, year out. Number one super chat superstar, and it helps keep this show going. The channel, believe us, it keeps the lights on. So thank you so much. Love you. She says the Jags scare me. I hope Bo keeps on dominating. Zach, I haven't paid all that much attention. I mean, I know the Jags are a very good team, but like I haven't studied them too much this season. Today they beat up on the Jets to get their 10th win of the season, 48-20 final score. Trevor Lawrence had a phenomenal game, 20 of 32, 330 yards, Zach, 5 touchdowns. But you know what? He's got to take on the same team, the same defense, Zach, that just munched Jordan Love, picked him off twice, sacked him, 4 times? So a buzzsaw cometh is what I'm getting at here, Michaela, for Trevor Lawrence and the Jags. They haven't faced a challenge like the Broncos, even close to that quite yet.
They also have a running back out there, Travis Etienne, who's balling out recently. And similar to what we saw from Josh Jacobs today, that could pose a problem for Denver. But Michaela, thank you for the super first and foremost. I wouldn't be scared of the Jaguars. I was more terrified of the Packers game. And look at how the Broncos came out of that. So bring them on.
Exactly. Colin jumping in again, brother. To be honest, I don't want the respect. This is what I'm saying. Like, either way you look at it, he said, keep sleeping. But either way you kind of look at it, Zach, it's a win-win situation. If the Broncos start getting the love nationally that they now deserve, have always deserved, but especially now, great. There's that part of you as a fan that's going to feel really good that your team's getting the credit it deserves, Zach. And if they don't get that love, as I've said, it only serves them. It just continues to deepen that chip on the shoulder. Let them hate. We'll see how it shakes out. It's going to be a fun week to observe the media takes around the NFL.
Yeah, I can only speak for myself, but there's a difference between ranking Bo Nix like 16th overall as a quarterback in the NFL and ranking him 35th overall in the NFL. I have to call out the ridiculousness, but yeah, we don't want the praise around here.
Colin, buddy, thank you again. He says, I've been listening and lurking since 2019, but this season has made me want to be a part of the conversation. You two are family. Hashtag Bronco gang. Dude, so awesome to hear stuff like that, man. Seriously, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for your support dating back. Now we're starting to push a decade on this YouTube thing. So thank you, bro. Brad jumping in again, top rope with the elbow. Oh, yeah. Saying Jags will be a tough match, but I think today's game was the toughest of the 4. 15-2. Let's go. Broncos for life. I feel you. I think most people around the NFL, Zach, would say of the 4 remaining games, this was the toughest matchup. However, I will say, since Sean Payton has yet to defeat the Jim Harbaugh-led Chargers, I still think the Chargers are going to be the toughest row to hoe. It's just a question of whether or not that game ends up being meaningful as the season finale. We'll see what happens these next 2 weeks.
Brad, I'm right there with you. I even predicted a loss. In full disclosure, I was worried about this Packers game. I had a bad feeling about it. It didn't start off that great, but the Broncos keep proving me wrong the rare times I do pick against them. And who knows at this point? Who knows if they even have to lose any games going forward? Like you're saying there, 15-2. Let's go. Let's get it.
Also, from Mr. Producer, it's not a beauty contest like college football. Get the wins and you'll be holding the trophy, respect or no. It's all that matters. Well said, Scott. Fat Sertan in the hizzy. Good to see you, buddy. ESPN and NFL social medias refuse to post any Bronco highlights. Playoff action in the street continuing from this game. It's all about Packer injuries and Mahomes. Let's keep riding no matter what. If that is how it currently is, Fat Sertan, yeah, let him hate. We're going to keep riding as Scott said, you get the wins and you'll be holding the trophy. That's all the Broncos care about right now. The publicity, the praise, the rankings. I mean, even Scott, like you guys know Scott, you listened to him on Broncos for Breakfast for many years. What was it, 4 years, Scott, that you did BFB? And he's very pragmatic, right? Very, very pragmatic, black and white when it comes to football analysis, et cetera, et cetera. And even he said before we went live in our green room, anyone that doesn't have the Broncos 12-2 as number 1 in the NFL power rankings coming out of week 15, what, get your head checked. So Money Moore, good to see you, pal. Home field isn't just an advantage now. Well, I like this. It's a weapon. I might use that in an article. Well said, bro.
And true.
Totally true. Franklin in the hizzy. That's a sick Bo Nix jersey, bro. Sean giving an education on how to bring along a young QB. He did it right. I go back to his comment, quote, there's a lot of ways to help a young QB. He's done that. Nix doesn't have to score 30, which allows him to play comfortably. Yeah, exactly. Give Sean Payton a lot of credit for how, Zach, he's developed Bo Nix. I mean, the achievements Bo Nix has as a second-year quarterback are insane. It's like we were talking about in the halftime stream. That first touchdown pass he threw today gave him 20 for the season. He now has 23, but he became just the 4th quarterback in Broncos history and the 5th instance of it happening, Zach, where a quarterback throws for 20 or more touchdowns in back-to-back seasons. This was only the 5th time that's ever happened, believe it or not. John Elway did it twice. Peyton Manning did it once. He technically did it three times in a row, but the back-to-back thing once. And then kind of a surprise, but the only other quarterback to do it, I did the research, Zach, it's Kyle Orton. So Kyle Orton kind of sneaks in there. Good for him. But Kyle Orton at that point in his career, he's a 7-8 year pro, something like that. Bo Nix achieved that, Zach, in just his 2nd season. And basically that's going to be the status quo for Bo Nix if and unless he ever gets hurt. Knock on wood as I say that. Like, he's a set and forget guy. Like, he's a 30 touchdowns per season guy, if not more. Somewhere around 4,000 passing yards. Broncos will be double-digit wins. Now, it will start getting a little bit trickier, as Scott mentioned in our private chat here a little bit earlier in the show, Zach. It will get a little bit trickier when, you start having to pay everybody, including the quarterback, but that's still a ways out. And the Broncos are about to lose the albatross of the Russell Wilson contract, and they still have $20 million in cap space projected, Zach, for 2026, and that's without doing any restructures or different little tricks of the trade to free up cap space. So, Scott, good to see you, buddy. Scott Eaton checking in, a dear member saying big games from Nick, Sutton, and Franklin. Sutton is hands down the best 3rd down receiver in the NFL. Go Broncos. Absolutely, Zach. Your thoughts on that trio today for Scott Eaton?
I think Sutton is mostly reliable. He could still fumble the occasional reception. The easy ones, he catches the hard ones, but he's been a big help for Bo Nix, and I look for them to keep growing together in the future. Thank you, Scott.
So this doesn't count today because the numbers aren't up yet totaled in for the season yet on Pro Football Reference. But going into this game, Courtland Sutton had 56 receptions. And of those, I'm trying, first downs, where is it? There we go. So 39, Zach, of his 56 receptions going into this game moved the chains. And then you add 5 touchdowns before this game again. That would be 44 of his 56 receptions, either going for first downs or touchdowns. Very productive. And Troy Franklin today, he finished, by the way, I think I went over the Sutton numbers, but I'll give it to you, both of them. Sutton targeted 10 times, team high. I love that. Let's get him over 1,000, Bo, for the season. But he had 7 receptions, Zach, 113 yards, and a touchdown. Troy Franklin caught all 6 of his targets. For his drop issues, that's a huge achievement. I'm going to give him his props. 6 catches, 85 yards, Zach, and a touchdown.
I really don't have many nits to pick with the Broncos offense. This was a precision type performance from Bo Nix, pretty statement victory type performance from Bo Nix. So hats off to all of them.
I mean, really, the only nit you could plausibly pick is the third down thing, which is two nits you could pick. If I'm just to be the and then I'm gonna grab adventure here, just to be constructively critical, and that is you'd like to see better production, the run game. Credit to RJ. It's a tough defense he was going against. Career high 19 carries. He was over 3 yards per carry, Zach, but not over 4, which is where you kind of want to see him. And that's what led to less than favorable third down situations, which is a big reason why, Zach, for the night, they went 4 of 11 on third down, which is only a 36% conversion rate. So those two things are so closely tied together, though. The run game, you got to pick up the yardage on first and second down, make third down easier, etc. Adventure Soldier jumping in again. The Jags should be worried. And by the way, you went and changed your your handle so that I don't ever have to question it. Thank you, buddy. The Jags, he says, Zach, should be worried about the Denver defense. Chew them up. Orange Rush and No Fly Zone 2.0. Fix the handle too. LOL. Excited for next week. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt about it. I think that's the best name for this defense, Zach, is the Orange Rush, because it's its own thing, and yet it also kind of pays homage to the actual Orange Crush defense of the late 70s.
The best name in the future will be Super Bowl champion Broncos defense. And Adventure Soldier, point well taken. And like Chad said earlier, I don't think the Jaguars have faced a team like the Broncos either, so it goes hand in hand. It's going to be a good game regardless.
No doubt about it. Guys, we're almost out of time here tonight. Should we is Jay Martin the last one? Okay. J Bone, thank you. Jumping in again, says Bo has the stats, but I get what you're saying. It isn't, I'll put it here, always pretty. No, he does have the stats. What I'm saying is, I mean, again, I'm not trying, far be it from me, guys, to make any kind of claim or to make you believe in any way, shape, or form that Bo Nix is in any way inferior to Drake May. What I'm saying here is strictly trying to help you understand part of, it's not the whole enchilada, but part of the reason why a guy like Drake May, who has a similar going into this week anyway, Zach, same exact record in the standings, why he gets so much more love and praise than Bo Nix. And my argument earlier is, you know, what you saw from Bo today was basically like status quo, almost every game type of thing from Drake May this season. So not counting today, because it hasn't updated yet in Pro Football Reference, as an example, I mean, Drake May was at 3,400 passing yards, completing 71% of his passes. He had 23 touchdowns and only 6 picks. So that's all I'm saying. I believe that Bo Nix should be, just by virtue, Zach, of the fact that his team's 12-2, let alone his stats. I mean, he's over 23. I don't know how it's going to shake out in terms of how everybody else did, but if he had 23 passing touchdowns going into this week, that would have ranked him, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th in the NFL. So by no stretch am I saying Bo Nix does not measure up to Drake May, just to be clear.
Yeah, I mean, they're two different situations. They're both having good seasons. I don't know why we have to choose one or the other and can't acknowledge both. But I just feel like Bo's risen to more adversity and he's dealt with more factors against him. And they're both going to be good NFL pros.
All right, guys. Let me see here. Let me see what's the best way to do this. Yeah, there you go. I think that'll work for me. All right, guys, we're about out of time. Before we dip out of here and get to a few messages, we'll also take one last look at the chat. So consider this kind of the 2-minute warning. But we are finally, it's long overdue, but the MHH Discord is officially built and ready to rock and roll. And we need you guys to come join us there and just, it's free, right? You just join, you come be a part of things. And this is where we can continue the conversations beyond these streams, and not just like on Twitter, where, you know, you've heard me say that before, Zach, as well, where it's like, hey, the conversation continues, come follow us on X. And that's true. But in X, or on X, you're competing with the throngs of faceless, nameless people. Whereas on Discord, it's everybody that you know in the community, talking Broncos, MHH topics, the whole 9 yards. We're all together under one roof instead of dealing with the kind of randomness of X or Twitter. So, guys, I'm going to drop the link and then we'll post about it, obviously, on our YouTube community tab. We'll get it out there on all the socials. But the time has come for you to come join us on the official MHH Discord. And we need you there. We want you there. It's finally done. Shout out to David, aka Mblex, for kind of helping me walk through getting it set up and understanding it a little bit. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist, but it's basically, Zach, like it's a message board type of thing, but it's unique to our community. It's only MHH. So I just dropped the link. Come join us, you guys.
Very exciting stuff. Check us out.
George jumping in. I think VJ should maybe rethink being a head coach. Just think how his resume would be. He'd be in the same history as some of the best defense coordinators in history. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that all shakes out. But from everything we've seen and heard, including from VJ's own mouth, if he gets an opportunity to go be a head coach for a second time, he is going to take that. I mean, I guess there's still that what if factor, Zach, of what if the Walton Penners pay him like a head coach to stay in Denver. I think you would need Sean Payton, pounding the table for that, like really advocating to the Walton Penners that we need to do that. He's integral. Not to say that he's not integral, but how does Sean Payton feel about this defense with Jim Leonard calling the signals, for example? Like, is it going to end up being the same defense? Do they take a step back? Could it maybe even be better? We'll see, Zach, but I think it's still pretty safe to assume he's probably gone because there will be an offer coming his way.
The more the win, the higher probability that VJ will have to land a head coaching job. So it's looking like it's his last season in Denver.
All right, guys. We got a few messages for you. Then we're going to take one last look at the chat before we dip. So do not go anywhere.
Fantastic episode, as always, of the Mile High Huddle podcast. If you're not doing so, please follow us on X at the MHH Pod. You can follow the main account on X at Mile High Huddle, Chad at Chad and Jensen, myself at Kelberman NFL, and Scott, our producer, at Scout Kennedy. If you guys want some merch like we're rocking each and every podcast, check out MHHmerch.com. Get you some. If you haven't done so yet, drop us a like at facebook.com/Mile High Huddle Pod. You can find us on Instagram at mile_high_huddle. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure you're leaving your football priest a 5-star review for a chance to win some merch each and every single month. But if anything, y'all, please, very important as always that you subscribe, you like, you share this video and every video you see on the MHH channel. It really helps us grow and reach more Broncos fans just like you.
Guys, it's going to be really fun with the Discord. Like, we'll have our game day threads, right? Like chatting about the game while it's going on. Zach and I, we are considering doing some watch along stuff. We've had more than a few members of the community go, you should do watch along for games. And we might still pull it out this season while this season is still going. But in the meantime, I mean, one of the many things that this Discord is going to be great for is the actual live game day threads while the game's going on, sitting there chatting with each other, sharing our observations in real time. And then we convene here on these live streams to keep it going and break it down even more. So it's going to be awesome. Yeah, let's go. Shout out Pro 16. Yep. Shout out Mblex, String Guy, dear members. Let me see here. Derek, 23 touchdowns for the season, 9 picks for Bo. Yeah, and then he's with let's see, what did he have today? 302. So add 302 to 2954. So, he's 2,200 yard or 32, pardon me, 100 passing yards with 3 games left to go. So I like his odds. He's got a chance at 4,000. He'll probably end up right around where he was last season, to be honest. 3,800 passing yards. The league high right now, for what it's worth, 3,600. That's Dak before tonight, obviously. But guys, mile high salute. Special shout out to the phenomenal Super Chat Superstars, supporters, and dear members helping us keep the lights on and allowing us to do more and more fun stuff like put together the Discord and everything else. Shout out Michaela. Love you so much. Lady D, ladies of MHH, showing out, leading the way. Omar,
thank you.
Big Dog. Shannon, Big Dog Supers. Chris Hernandez, though, the top rope super of the night, brother. Love you. And then we got William. We got Ted. We got Rip Die. We got Chaos Josh, David Yunkin, Friendly Giant, Zebo as well. So generous. Taylor, Sentinel Supreme, Alfonso, Casey Nickel, Colin, multiples. Fox Family Breaks, Brad Murdoch, multiples. Ren, multiples. Naj, legend. Did I say Shannon? Shannon, love you. Boogmeister, Donnie on Facebook, Clay on Facebook, Robert Otteson. There we go. George Fox, David T with the nurse taking his phone away. Chris Parr, BLD, David Wilder, supers and gifting memberships. Mist for Jay, who's already in the Discord. I love it, dude. Adventure Soldier, Triple C, Maisie. I think it's Maisie. I think that's how it should be said. BNS, Lawrence Rivera, Derek Kincaid, Swish Sumo, Jay Martin, Joe DePaul. Let's see here. Fat Sertan, Money Moore with an awesome home field isn't just an advantage now. It's a weapon. I love it, dude. Franklin with an excellent observation. Mblex, love you, buddy. Thanks for your help on the Discord. Scott Eaton. Let me see. I think that's everybody, guys. Thank you so much. What a game. What a win. Your Denver Broncos are 12-2. They've now tied the 11-game win streak that the 2012 Peyton Manning Broncos had. Next on the table is 13 that the 98 Broncos had. So we'll see if they can get there. But boy, oh boy, Zach, it's a good time to be a Broncos fan.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your Victory Sunday. We'll see you tomorrow for the aftermath episode of the MHH podcast. Take care. And as always, go Broncos.